Hey, what's up guys? The iPhone XS Max is the bigger sibling of the new iPhone XS, which we reviewed not too long ago. Let's get into a few of the differences between the two models, a few test findings you might find interesting, and a detailed camera comparison with the Galaxy Note 9. I'm Will for GSM Arena, and this is our iPhone XS Max review. Looking at the XS Max next to the XS, they're pretty similar. Both have the same glass-on-glass design with a stainless steel frame, and both look gorgeous. The distinguishing feature of the XS Max is its size. It's a dream come true for those that wanted a larger iPhone X Plus option last year. That said, it isn't the most compact device to hold. It's large, heavy, and much more comfortable to use with two hands. The build is more resilient than last year's with a more durable Gorilla Glass 6. It should be more resistant to physical damage, as drop tests online have shown. And the new IP68 rating means that the phone can be submerged in even deeper water with no problem. Just remember that the warranty doesn't cover liquid damage if the seal does eventually fail. Like last year's iPhone X, the only biometric way to unlock this phone is with Face ID. It's quite accurate, using infrared to scan your face, and even faster this year. And it has the option to add a second alternative face. Just like other recent iPhones, the XS Max has two speakers for stereo audio playback. This year though, the earpiece speaker is much louder, so the overall sound is much richer and more balanced. The XS Max's speakers tested out even louder than the XS, earning an excellent score in our lab tests. Unfortunately, Apple no longer includes a Lightning to 3.5mm audio adapter in the package, so for wired headphones you'll have to buy your adapter at the Apple Store. Moving on, let's talk about the 6.5-inch OLED screen. Though it is larger than the display of the XS, it has the exact same pixel density at 458 ppi, since it has a bit higher resolution. Content looks amazing on this huge bezel-less screen. As we mentioned in our XS video though, we're disappointed that the notch cutout still gets in the way and you can't hide it. The screen is quite bright. We measured an impressive 650 nits of max brightness, as much as the smaller XS. As you'd expect, the iPhone XS Max's display scored an excellent mark in our sunlight legibility test, one of the best from an AMOLED we've seen. The iPhone XS Max is powered by Apple's new 7nm chipset, the A12 Bionic, along with 4GB of RAM. It boasts an 8-core neural engine, a solid GPU upgrade, and a new image signal processor, or ISP, for the camera. In benchmarks, the newest iPhones top the charts, outperforming any phone that has come out to date. It's the fastest hardware out today, and we're not sure if even next year's Android phones will be able to beat it. Just remember that since the phone is made of glass, not metal, it doesn't disperse heat very well. That said, while the phone did become warm during gaming, we didn't notice any issues or drops in performance. At about 3200 mAh, the iPhone XS Max has the largest battery we've seen from an Apple phone yet. It scored an endurance rating of 79 hours in our proprietary battery tests. Not spectacular, but still a bit better than the smaller XS. To put things further into context, in the individual battery tests with the screen on, it was an hour or so short of the iPhone 8 Plus's or the Note 9's results. As far as charging goes, the phone ships with an outdated 5-watt charger that only got us from 0 to 18% charge in 30 minutes. About the same as a wireless charger. Maybe Apple doesn't want us fast charging to preserve the battery's lifespan. Who knows? However, you can buy a faster MacBook-type charger and proper cable from Apple, which will get you over 50% in half an hour. It'll cost you around $70 though. Apple has released a beta version of iOS 12.1, which fixes the new iPhone's notorious charging issue. They wouldn't start charging if you plug them in after being idle for a while, requiring you to wake the phone up first. Speaking of iOS 12, there are very few visible changes to the interface compared to iOS 11. Most of the tweaks are under the hood to improve performance. Everything feels quite fast and responsive. Screen time allows you to monitor how you use your phone and even individual apps. And Siri can be summoned by holding down the power key. It's continuously evolving thanks to machine learning improvements. The iPhone XS and XS Max share the same cameras. On the back, this is a single 12MP f1.8 wide-angle cam and a 12MP f2.4 telephoto one, both with OIS. The wide-angle cam has a new sensor with larger pixels, and the cameras now benefit from the new image signal processor, which eliminates shutter lag and enables a smart HDR through image stacking. Unfortunately, the camera app hasn't been touched at all. The image and video settings aren't in the camera app itself, so you have to close the camera and open settings for even the most basic changes. But simply put, the iPhone XS Max's camera is great. We did an in-depth analysis of the camera quality in our iPhone XS review. We'll include a link if you want to check that out. For this video, we'll focus on how the camera compares to the Galaxy Note9s, something which we also plan to do a separate, more in-depth video on. The Galaxy Note9 has a similar dual camera setup. However, its 12-megapixel wide-angle camera has a variable aperture, which switches from f1.5 to f2.4. But like the iPhone, the secondary telephoto camera is 12 megapixels at f2.4, and they all have OIS. Let's start off with regular daylight photo quality. Here, you'll notice that the iPhone has a more restrained and true-to-life color rendition, while the Note9's is more vivid and warmer. Our preference here goes to the Galaxy. Level of detail is comparable, though the iPhone does get slightly softer at the corners. Photos from both phones aren't noisy. In fact, they're squeaky clean. We did notice that in direct sunlight, the iPhone is more prone to lens flare. But what a beautiful lens flare it is. And with Smart HDR on, the iPhone does have noticeably wider dynamic range than the Note9, specifically in the highlights. Moving on to low light, the iPhone goes for a darker exposure, so photos are a bit darker than those from the Note9. The colors are again a bit drab and muted on the iPhone. Here, the more saturated colors of the Note9 seem more pleasant. Again, photos from both phones are pretty free of noise, even in low light. When switching to the telephoto cam, the iPhone has better contrast, and produces an overall sharper image. You can't use the telephoto in low light though, unless you force it through portrait mode. Both phones just crop from the output of the main cam. Speaking of the portrait mode, in good light both the iPhone XS Max and Galaxy Note9 produce nice images, but here the iPhone has the edge. The colors look better and there's a wider dynamic range. And just take a look at those bokeh balls from the iPhone. With the main cam, video recordings are quite similar between the iPhone and the Note9. The iPhone has slightly better detail in 4K footage. But at the same time, the Galaxy is a bit sharper in 1080p. This time around, the iPhone's overall color rendition is warmer and more saturated, but dynamic range is the same. As far as stabilization goes, both phones have it at 4K 30 and 1080p, though we do prefer the iPhone's extra smoothness over the Note9. When filming through the telephoto lens, the iPhone comes out on top, if filming in 4K at 60fps. Here there's considerably more detail and sharpness in the Note9. But zoomed photos in 1080p seem about on par. Moving on to selfies, the iPhone XS Max has a 7-megapixel f2.2 front shooter, while the Note9's is 8 megapixels and f1.7. Colors look good on both phones, though the iPhone is warmer and yellowish, and the Note9 is more pinkish. You'll notice that the field of view is narrower on the iPhone, making it a bit harder to fit everything into the frame. But that said, the iPhone handles bright lights better, and preserves highlights, probably due to the Smart HDR. Selfie portraits are quite similar. Subject detection is quite good on both, though perhaps the iPhone has the edge here. In low light, selfies aren't impressive from either phone though. The technology still isn't quite there yet. So the iPhone XS Max. It really offers quite a lot over last year's iPhone X. An industry-leading chipset, a larger bezel-less OLED display, better stereo speakers, and an improved camera. As far as the camera goes, it really is great, though compared to other top flagships like the Note9, the difference is quite small, so I wouldn't consider this a top deciding factor if you're shopping in this price range. Yeah, the price range. At over 1,200 euros, this sort of price is going to turn off a lot of people. And coupled with the division that's already there between Android and iOS, the XS Max is actually fit for a very particular audience. For those people though, the iPhone XS Max definitely delivers. It's the top of the line from Apple, and it deserves our recommendation. Thanks for watching. Hit like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And you're always welcome to stop by gsmarena.com for our full test findings. See ya!